You're out in a bar with a few friends and you see a really attractive woman, a really cute blonde girl that looks like she's your type. And you walk over, you say hi to her, you have a conversation. You think she's into you. Things are going well. Things are flowing. She's laughing at your jokes. You guys are talking. There's a bit of eye contact. You get her a drink. You guys do a shot together. You guys check out another section of the bar. Maybe you go to the rooftop, the smoking area, and you guys talk. But something just seems a little bit off. It seems like something just isn't clicking. And eventually, the conversation dies down after about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You bought her a drink. You guys have talked a bit. There's been laughs, but something feels off. She says, you should take my number. You thinking to yourself, why are we ending it here? I mean, she used to go to her friends, I'm sure, but I'd love to keep hanging out with her tonight. Maybe it'd be a good vibe. But you don't say that, though. You don't say that to her, because why would you say that to her? And you get her number. Maybe you get her Instagram as well. And you guys follow each other, looking at each other's posts for the next 12 months, the next year. You travel a bit, she travels a bit, and eventually she ends up in a relationship and you never see her again. That's what happens when you don't build sexual tension. And that's the example of an interaction, the kind of interaction that happens when you do not build sexual tension with women. So in this training, what I'm going to do is give you three very powerful attraction triggers that you can use to build sexual tension with women rapidly. And these are going to be easy to use attraction triggers. We shouldn't even call them triggers. We should call them attraction mechanisms, because by attraction trigger, what I mean is something that prompts the girl to invest in you because of how attractive or how impactful you appear to be. But what we're going to talk about is how you can leverage these specific attraction triggers, which I'm going to share with you in this training, to attract women to you naturally, and how you can create a very powerful sexual impact beyond just being friendly, beyond just a good conversation, where women want to invest in you and they want to chase you, so that interactions are not just, oh, we had a good conversation and a bunch of laughs and that was it, okay? To start this conversation, to start this training, before I give you these three triggers, I need to start by giving you a high-level overview of where sexual tension comes from, what sexual tension really is. Sexual tension basically means the girl understands that there is a sexual dynamic between both of you and that the next steps of this interaction would be something sexual. So like making out with her or going home together and sleeping together. She understands that the context and the tone of the interaction is based on you guys moving forward together sexually. That's what sexual tension is essentially. And I'm going to explain to you the two things that most guys miss that stops them from really creating sexual tension very easily. And when you understand how to do these two things correctly, creating sexual tension won't be difficult for you at all. I mean, you'll still have to practice this, you'll still have to put in the work, but it should be easier for you. So the first thing you have to understand is her mind is her most powerful sexual tool. A lot of guys ask me when I'm training clients, a lot of the questions I get is, how do I touch the girl? How do I get to a makeout point? When I'm training guys, I don't focus on teaching my clients how to make out with girls as soon as possible or how to like dance on the girl and grind on her. What I focus on, and this is what I do in my own dating life, is how can I get into the girl's head and play a sexual narrative and a sexual role play with her between her and I in her head where she sees me as a viable sexual option. That's my goal. And now I don't think of doing this anymore because it's second nature to me, and I've become the kind of man that women just sexually invest in. They just like to flirt with me. They like to chase me, right? Because I've spent literally thousands of hours practicing social skills and dating dynamics and studying psychology of dating. So it's second nature to me. But where it's coming from, my goal is when I'm interacting with women, where I get to is a place where she understands that I am the best sexual option for her in any given moment. But that starts in her mind. It doesn't start because I made out with her. Making out with her is a product of what's going on in her mind. So you have to understand her most powerful sexual tool is her mind. And then the second thing is you need to convey, you need to demonstrate, you need to show this. I have options, and sexual connection is a regular part of my life. And what happens is when you show this to women, when you show that you have options and that sexual connection is a regular part of your life, this works to confirm the belief that you want her to have. So if you communicate like a guy who has sexual communication and sexual options as a normal part of her life, she is going to believe that, and she's going to see that, and she's going to treat you as a guy that she would be sexual with. I just made an Instagram reel about this, and a YouTube short. I posted it the other day on our YouTube channel and our Instagram. And what's very interesting is you can have a girl, and I know girls like this actually, and there's nothing wrong with these girls. They're completely normal. This just follows evolution. You could have a girl in a small town, in a city, like it doesn't even have to be a small town. It could be a city. Let's say she's from a town she's from a place in Italy. I live in Europe, so we'll use Italian places. So she's from Rome, and this girl, there's a guy at her job. She works as, let's say, as an accountant. There's a guy at her job. His name is Jim. That's not a very Italian name. His name is Aldo. Okay, Aldo is a nice guy, a nice name. She sees Aldo, and Aldo's a really good guy. Aldo asks her out a few times. She says yes. Aldo hasn't hooked up with her, and she'd make Aldo wait 3 or 4 dates before sleeping with her. Maybe she'd kiss him on the second date, but she'd say, I'm not that kind of girl. I don't really do that. I don't know if Italian women are like this really, but she'd say, I don't do that. I'm not that kind of girl. And he'd go on a bunch of dates. He would tell his friends, she just won't put out, but she's so amazing. She's so cool. I like her. I really want to sleep with her. Maybe on the next date it's going to happen. And you may be in this situation too. You keep trying and trying. And then finally, date number 5, she ends up at your place, but she finally gives in and you guys sleep together. And you won something. You got sex from her. That's one kind of guy. That's Aldo, the nice accountant guy. Look at this same girl. Have her go to Turks and Caicos for vacation, or fucking Ibiza for vacation. That girl in one weekend would meet a cool guy, I don't know, from, let's say, fucking Ireland, cool Irish guy, or any country, Brazilian, he could also be Italian. She meets a cool dude. And in that weekend, she's having a good time. She's out with her girls drinking. She meets this guy. He's in shape. He's jacked. He says, come to the beach club and hang out with us, with me and my crew. Bring your girls. And she ends up sleeping with that guy the same night. That's a real thing that happens. She will. This is gonna get banned, or not banned, but flagged probably. She will and do whatever else comes with that without a thought. Why? Because there's different standards women will have for different kinds of men. They're not gonna have the same standard. This is a real thing. I've experienced it. I've been on both sides of it. I've been the guy where there was a girl I was seeing. I was taking her out a lot. I got lucky to make out with her. At the time I was lucky. And then 3 weeks later, this is a real thing that happened to me in my university. 3 weeks later, she's dating the roommate of one of my friends. Just hooking up with him, sleeping with him, and actually they ended up being together for a long time. And I'm happy for her. She's not attractive anymore, but good for her. But that's a real thing. And I've also been on the other side where I've had girls in my bed and I just finished having a crazy sexual experience with them, and they're talking to me about a guy who they really like a lot, who's been going out with them, but they're just not sure. Why? Sexual tension. Can you be the guy who creates sexual tension? So start with these 2 mindsets. The high level overview is understand her mind is her most powerful sexual tool. Okay, that's number 1. And convey to her, I have options and sexual connection is a part of my life. Now, if it isn't a part of your life, let's say it's not, or you're a beginner at this and you're like, hey, I want to start doing this the right way. I want to start attracting women. I haven't been consistent. Let's go into the steps. There's 3 things you can do. 3 triggers that I would say, 3 mechanisms, actions, triggers, label it whatever word you want, that are going to help you create unbelievable sexual connection with women. I'm going to explain those to you here. So the first trigger, and this is, I think, by far the most important communication tool you have as a man. I can't stress to you how powerful this communication tool is. It has made women chase me, women in different countries, different cultures, all over, chase me and desire me and want me, everything. This first trigger is so important, and it has to do with communication. You have to be comfortable with silence. One of the biggest reasons why there isn't a lot of sexual polarity for men who are struggling with creating high levels of sexual tension. And by the way, I'm not talking about getting lucky, where you meet a girl and it happened to work out. I'm talking about where you can continuously create sexual tension with very attractive, very beautiful women. One of the biggest problems, the thing that happens a lot, is us as men, we're so quick to talk and so quick to fill in empty space, make jokes, never have anything be awkward because we don't want awkwardness. So we fill that space in with words. And because we fill that space in with words, there is no tension. Tension, sexual tension specifically, exists in this empty space of what's going to happen next. When a girl feels what's his next move, I'll give you an example, like a mini dating report from this Saturday when I went out. I went out and I met this lovely girl from Slovakia, really attractive, cool woman. And she was actually there with her mother in the club, and her mother and her mother had gone through a recent separation, and basically her and her mom came to Budapest to just have a vacation, hang out, and travel a bit. And there was this guy talking to her mom, and he was handling the mother. So I came in and talked to her. She was the younger girl. Her mother was quite attractive actually, but I was attracted to her more. So I came up and talked to her, and I forgot what I said as my first line, but it was something like I think I saw her inside the Four Seasons Hotel. I hang out there sometimes, and I thought I saw her there earlier, and it wasn't a gimmick. I really believed I saw her in the hotel earlier. And I walked up and I was like, "Were you in the Four Seasons earlier?" Now very quickly I knew she wasn't in the Four Seasons after I said that, because I remember the girl's face and stuff, and I was like, "No, this wasn't her." this girl's actually more attractive than the girl who was there. Surprise, surprise. I'm happy. And I spoke to her and she was like, no, that wasn't me. I was in the Four Seasons. And then she looked at me and looked like I was going to give her a response. She looked at me like, okay, now what? I didn't say anything. I just said, The look on her face when I did that, she said I wasn't in the Four Seasons and I didn't answer her. The look on her face when I did that, she started twirling her hair and going, well, it started like deflecting, and you could see this tension, tension of, I'm not going to respond to this right now. I'm going to think, I'm going to sit, and I'm going to be comfortable with silence and awkwardness. I'm going to be cool with it. Because in my masculine, I'm comfortable with that. Her feminine is to deflect it and play with it, right? So out of that comes the sexual attention. So I see a lot of guys and we ended up having an amazing night together. But I see a lot of guys making this mistake where they'll start off an interaction with a girl like, hey, where are you from? And the girl's like, I'm from Germany. And they're like, oh, really cool. I have a friend. You left no space for tension in that interaction just now. There's no space for her to process, to think, to wonder, does this guy really like me? What's going to happen next? Oh my God, what's his next word going to be? If I ask a girl where she's from, she's like, Germany, my response is going to be, fuck. Interesting. She's going to, every time, the girl's going to be like, what? Why? Why is that bad? Right? Now, because I'm so comfortable creating this space, and because I'm so comfortable not saying anything and just sitting and relaxing in the tension and relaxing in the space, it's easier for me to create sexual tension. So you think about this. Do you always have to have an answer? Do you always, if I were to watch your conversations, which is what I do for the guys I train in person, if I were to watch your conversations, we were to socialize together, you were to be talking to a girl with me and you were talking to two girls, and you were to talk to your girl, would I see you just talking and trying to find the next thing to say? Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool, really? Or would you just be looking her in the eyes like you're fucking James Bond? It's like, you don't have to say anything. You stare at her. How would you look? Sexual attention comes from silence. So as an exercise, practice being okay with silence and not rushing to answer questions, not rushing to get to the next answer or the next step.
I'm afraid I'm not that cruel.
Well, perhaps you just had to practice.
Perhaps.
What about a drink at my place?
Is it close?
Very.
One drink.
Number 2, and this is one that's a little more challenging. A lot of guys are scared of this, reasonably so. I was scared of this as well when I was learning dating success, but it's extremely important. Make sex a conversation topic. Tell her that you understand what she wants, okay? This is huge. Some conversation topics, topics about dominance, leadership, and kindness. Now, I know I said these steps are easy. I might have lied on a little bit. This is a bit of clickbait, maybe a little bit, because this is not easy. It's not easy to do, but I think learning it is worth it. Once you learn how to do it, it becomes good. I don't think talking about sex is easy. I think a lot of guys struggle with this, and I want to be empathetic to that. It's not easy to just talk about sex. And it doesn't mean you have to talk about sex like nasty shit, like what position do you like? That's weird. I'm speaking about the feminine desire when it comes to sex, right? So as an example, I talk to women a lot about dominance. I talk to them about being a dominant man. I'll tell girls, this girl that I met the other night, I was like, I know exactly what you need. You need a guy who can properly lead and isn't afraid to fucking take charge. Because you're very feminine. You're very confident with how feminine you are. And I fuck with that. I love that. Right? And I talked to her like that and I just see her melt. Like she hugged me and she was like, oh my God, you're amazing. So like that was her response when I'm really looking at her. And when I do this, it's because I like pulling her hair and I'm looking at her and I'm speaking about topics related to what she wants to feel from a man. So I'm speaking about sex. Sex has to be a conversation topic. One way, here, I'll give you an exercise, something that's easy. One way that you could move towards talking about sex with women in a way that feels very natural, that feels congruent, that doesn't feel too out there, too all over the place. One way you could do it is asking girls what they think most men do wrong when it comes to meeting women. Ask them about game. Ask women about meeting women. Seriously. Be like, what is it that you like in a man and what do most guys do wrong? And just sit and listen. Let her talk. She'll explain. She'll say, most guys are this and they think they know what they want. And then once she gives you an answer, you educate her. You've watched enough. Like if you have to, quote my YouTube videos and stuff. Because the shit I talk about is what women really want. Trust me. You have to be very socially aware with how you present it. But women love this stuff. Ignore what like the mainstream tells you and all that. Girls who are feminine and attractive love a masculine man. They love when men take leadership. They love these things. So you could tell her this and talk to her about it. Say it as fact. Say, you know what's interesting? I think a lot of women don't have men or don't experience men who are very confident in their masculine. That's what I think. A lot of men, right? And I'll educate her. I'll speak to her from a place of education. I'll tell her how things are. This creates sexual connection as well. The last one, number 3, is a bit of a bonus. And this is a weird one, but it's very easy to use. It's something you could use right now. And I'm going to explain it. Use your face. Sounds funny. Use your face. When I talk to girls, I have a look on my face, an expression of this. I know deep things about you, and you know that I know those things. That's how I look at women. That's how I communicate with them. I know something deep about you, and you know that I know those things. So you could think about it like this. How would you interact with someone if you know a very deep secret about them? How would you look at them? Using your face specifically. How would you look at that person? If you know a very, very deep secret about a person, and you know exactly what's in their heart, what's in their mind, you're a mind reader, and you know this, how would you look at them? To me, that look looks like a cocky smile. It's like I know exactly what you're fucking thinking. I fucking know you. I do. I look at girls like that, and the girls start blushing. They start moving their hair to the side. They start giggling uncontrollably. They're like, what? They do sexual attention. Boom, it rises, it jumps. It's this look of, I know exactly who you are on an identity level, but we're not going to talk about it though, because I choose to restrain myself and I choose to not talk about it with you. I know exactly who you are, though. I know exactly what you need, girl. Right? That's powerful. That's how you create sexual tension. That's one of the aspects, using your face. So a lot of guys see me interact with women and they're like, Tim, it looks effortless for you. Like you're not even trying. Like girls just chase you and they follow you. The reason this happens is because I use my face. When I look at a girl yesterday or Saturday, technically yesterday, because this was after 12 and I'm shooting this on a Monday. We went out Saturday night, which was Sunday morning. So technically it was yesterday. When I started talking to these girls on the line going into the club. And this really attractive girl from Italy. And I just looked at her and I was like, you're Italian? And she was like, yes. And I was like, oh, really? You're an Italian? That's what I said. She was like, what? What's bad about that? I was like, nothing. I know some interesting things about Italian women though. All right, I looked at her like that, and I had this little squint, I know exactly what you fucking need. All right, I had this energy, and I know this is not usually what I do in my videos, guys, but I want you to feel what this is like, so I'm embracing this energy, this kind of chaotic, deep, or not chaotic, this relaxed, deep sexual energy. I'm embracing it and sharing it with you guys here. But I had that energy, and because I had that, she just like surrendered and invested and chased, and we didn't end up meeting up later because we got separated and stuff, and I didn't find her. I ended up with the other girl, the Slovakian girl. But like that energy is so powerful, and that energy is an energy that you really want to convey to women. Women will buy in, they will chase it. That's how you create sexual attention. You have to become comfortable with silence is number 1. You must make sex a conversation topic. That's number 2. Go into aspects of sex, into aspects of dominance, feminine, like the masculine, the feminine. Or if you don't know about these things, educate yourself on them. Read books about evolutionary psychology. Read The Way of the Superior Man. Learn about male and female dynamics. If you're going to be good with women, you have to fucking know about women. You have to. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to just take my time learning and, do what No, you have to know women. If you want to have amazing relationships and have your future partner love you, invest in you, or attract multiple women and then pick a great partner in the future, you have to understand women. So saying like, I don't know much about sex, Tim, because I'm not you. I'm not a dating coach. You don't need to be a fucking dating consultant, dating coach, whatever. You don't have to do that in order to know about women. You don't have to. You can have your own education. You can be knowledgeable about women. So it's not an excuse. And then number 3, use your face, right? Look at her deeply. Use your face. She should read on your face this cocky arrogance. I'm being real with you. This is attractive to women. They love this shit. They'll say they don't like it because these traits are not very conducive to safety. That's the truth. Like if you're very arrogant and cocky, you're probably very reckless. Those things go together. It's kind of a version, I call it learned narcissism. I'm being really serious, but like very hyper attractive masculine traits are closely related to narcissism, like arrogance, unrealistic confidence, things like that. Women love that shit because that means that you're going to be able to like lead the tribe. You probably are confident enough where you're going to have amazing offspring. Like you're just kind of a gangster, like warrior type shit. Could signify you're healthy, a bunch of things. So have this look on your face. You should look like you have all the secrets to the universe. Women will love you for it, okay? Hopefully this makes sense. There's a bunch of links below this video. The only thing I'd love from you is if you could subscribe, because that would mean a lot. It would help me, and you would be notified when I'm uploading new things. So if you press the red button right below this video on either this side or this side, depending on how I'm facing the camera, I can't tell. It's a red button that says subscribe. Press that, and you're gonna know when I'm uploading new videos. And also, I have this free 4-part masterclass I created. It's called the Impact Formula. It's down below as well. It's the top link. It's completely free, and I'm giving it away. I filmed a 4-part masterclass on how to make women chase you. So basically, all of this we're talking about here, broken down into 4 extended parts, where I explain social dynamics, dating dynamics, and sexual dynamics in a really detailed way. Check that out. Or if you think that working with me could be a good fit for you, if we're both aligned, and you're someone who we're looking for to work with, and join our consulting program to get you results within the next 90 days of attracting new women, go ahead and click that link below as well. You can set up a call with me, and we'll see if it's a good fit to work together, or you can watch a training that I have on my website, a 4-part training that explains my system and explains how I get results, and then you can be invited from there to book a call as well. Okay? Stay blessed today. I hope that you crush it. I hope you thrive, and I will see you on our next training, my friend.